Live at 4.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Live at 4. We want you to be prepared and safe out in this cold weather, so we begin with team coverage today.
Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington here with your first warn forecast, and Armand Rahman is live with coverage of resources available to those who need shelter from the cold. We'll start with your forecast. Alex is here with why you should bundle up.
Yeah, absolutely. A dangerously cold morning this morning. We had wind chills to 25 below zero, even some isolated areas colder than that. Let's plan our evening, but I want you to take note here that while skies will clear out and actual temperatures will be in the single digits above zero, we really want to focus on we really need to be focusing on the wind chill. Right now, that wind chill in Madison is -5. So it's those wind chills that we really want to prepare for. So let's plan the rest of our evening looking at wind chills. Again, -5 right now in Madison, -3 in Lone Rock, as cold as -8 up towards Camp Douglas and -2 in Janesville. That's what it feels like to your skin. The rest of the night tonight by 6 o'clock, single digits below zero wind chills. Not as dangerously cold as what we were experiencing this morning. So at least that's a bit of improvement as we carry through the rest of the night. We stay those wind chills in the single digits below zero. We're not looking at teens or 20 below zero wind chills tonight. So that is certainly some good news in waking up to Friday morning while still very cold, not the dangerously cold wind chills that we were experiencing this morning. So a little bit of an improvement there. It's part of the three things you need to know. 0 for a low temperature tonight. We're still keeping an eye on a wintry weather system for Saturday morning. The latest on that in a few minutes. And if we all want some good news and get out of the cold weather and move some of this wintry precipitation out of our mind, I got 40-degree temperatures by Sunday.
That sounds very nice. Thanks, Alex. Well, this week's bitter cold has pushed a lot of people experiencing homelessness into the city's warming centers.
And last night was no exception. Armand Rahman is at the Porch Light Men's Shelter on the east side of Madison with more. Now, Armand, you told me the shelter saw a record number of guests yesterday.
That's right, Ellie and Brady. Today, they actually already started laying out these overflow mattresses here earlier and began welcoming guests in around 3:30. That's way earlier than when they opened doors here at 5 o'clock. And that's to minimize the amount of people waiting outside, because last night they had roughly 350 people come in through the drop-in shelter, and that's way more than 250 that they have capacity for, and they expect even more people to come tonight. Now, that shelter here on Zaire Road is temporary until the permanent location on Bartolon Drive is built. But Manager Ferris tells me even though they won't turn anyone away, he's nervous about how things may go with a new location.
I am a bit disappointed that at the permanent shelter, our cap limit is only 250 people a day when we are already serving beyond 300 every night right now, both in summer and winter. So I think it takes community pressure and some kind of unity.
More people means more potential for issues and conflict, but Ferris says their team is equipped to de-escalate when large crowds may cause any commotion or when people become frustrated due to mental health issues. Now, if you'd like to help, you can donate money online through Porchlight's website. They also are in need of coffee, water cups, and different types of clothes. That includes winter jackets, jeans of all sizes, winter socks, and underwear. For now, reporting live on the east side of Madison, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Armand. Well, Madison police are investigating a suspicious death. Officers responded to Flat Avenue in the city's Midtown district at about 7:20 Wednesday night. They were told an elderly woman fell down the stairs. The Dane County Medical Examiner was called to the scene and determined the death was suspicious. The Violent Crimes Unit is leading the investigation. Police say they'll release more information at a later time.
The Domestic Abuse Intervention Services, or DAYS, has a new court watch report for the 2023 to 24 year.
This report comes from DAYS observers who collect data on restraining order hearings throughout the year. The court had a briefing this morning, and our Merrill Hubbard breaks down the findings.
The DAYS Court Watch report pushes for Dane County judges to have more informed trauma practices for the safety of victims.
The report is based off of restraining order hearings and found that 60% of petitioners disclosed being in an intimate partner relationship with the respondent, with 74% of petitioners identifying as female. It also states that women in abusive relationships are 5 times more likely to be killed by their abusers if that person owns a gun. DAYS representatives say they want judges to consider the trauma and dangers that come with being a victim of domestic abuse and ways to extend protection protection for those victims.
Things like stalking, strangulation, threats to kill, and access to a firearm really increase that lethality risk. So we would love judges to kind of get more familiar with those lethality risk factors so that they can incorporate that into their conversations about the option of a 10-year injunction.
Days says the typical restraining order lasts for 4 years. Days also says that in future reports, they want to include the names of judges with their quotations from court.
To find the Court Watch Report, you can visit the Days website or channel3000.com. Reporting on Madison's North Side, Merrill Hubbard, News Here Now.
Thank you, Merrill. Next on Live at 4, whether the latest reports on unemployment in America is what economists were expecting.
Plus, how a nurse's dream turned into a medical nightmare when we come back.
Getting older is part of the journey, even with worsening heart failure. So when I had carpal tunnel syndrome, lower back pain, and shortness of breath, I thought that's what getting older felt like. Thank goodness I called my cardiologist. I have ATTR-CM, a rare but serious disease, and getting diagnosed early made a difference. If you have any of these warning signs, don't wait. Ask your cardiologist about ATTR-CM today.
I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
I just this morning made a new hole in my belt, so that was super exciting.
Why are women everywhere choosing Sonobello, the advanced solution for permanent fat removal?
I saw the results immediately. It's the best I have felt since I was in my 20s.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50, y'all, and my abs haven't been this flat since before I had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sonobello's best offer of the year. Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
Check it out. Snatch waist. Loving, loving, loving the results.
It will change your life. It did for me.
Call 1-888-510-6198 now or go to sonobello.com to claim special pricing.
It's the Friday the 13th sale. One day only. Get 13 of the hottest deals, like ground chuck and lots of pizza. 13 deals that are hotter than hot, including items for under $1. Save big on these 13 deals and more, in-store and online. One day only. Friday the 13th, only at Hy-Vee.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
Don't miss a chance to win a new furnace from AirServe of Madison. Send us a photo of your old, ugly furnace for a chance to win a new, beautiful furnace in the Ugliest Furnace Photo Contest on channel3000.com. Brought to you by AirServe of Madison.
I have no idea what I'm doing. My dad has Parkinson's and we need more support. That's why I connected with a Grace. Now I have a partner to help me understand what to expect. Choose more support and less stress with a Grace. Authentic care and connection.
College sports is about to undergo its biggest change in decades.
And that impact will be felt right here at UW-Madison on campus. Eric Franke joins us now with more details about how Badger Athletics will soon lose more than 80 student athletes.
Yeah, this is really a huge impact, Brady and Ellie. UW will be down about 85 student athletes in the next year. That includes members of the Badger football team. It is the result of an NCAA legal settlement. It sounds good on the surface. Student athletes, due to this settlement, will get to share in the revenues. They'll get paid for all that work finally. But the settlement also means cutting athletes, reducing roster spots, And for student athletes like rowing team member Oliver Earhart, he and about 20 of his teammates have already been let go from the rowing team for a sport they came to UW for, that they've competed in for years. I sat down with UW Athletic Director Chris McIntosh to talk about how the UW is being impacted here and the athletes who are being let go. And this is really just something that is changing by the day, and the full scope of its impact here really won't be known for a while, but we'll take a closer look tonight at this story. Very important one to UW Athletics tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
You've been working on this for quite a while. Were there any surprising details that you can give us?
I think just how much is still unknown, right? I mean, Chris McIntosh runs this massive almost $200 million athletic department, and it was shocking to me, I think, just how they don't know. And it's not all UW making these decisions. This is the conditions of a legal settlement, billions of dollars across the landscape. It'll impact thousands of athletes, really, going forward. But we're learning more about it every day, and so is the UW. We'll tell you what we know tonight at 6.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
And let's get a check at our first warn forecast. It is not rowing weather out there today, Alex.
No, you wouldn't be able to row because a lot of our lakes and area waterways have frozen over, at least have some ice that has returned. Part of the 3 things you need to know: very freezing cold tonight. Low temperature right around 0. We could be looking at some icing, light icing in parts of southern Wisconsin Saturday morning. Good news is 40 degrees by Sunday, so that's something to look forward to as we get out of the deep freeze and track a wintry weather system. Wind chills right now, that's the most important thing to talk about. Not as much as the actual air temperature, it's what it feels like. That's what your body reacts to. -5 in Madison, -3 in Lone Rock. I think this 9 in Boscobel, Mineral Point, and Platteville is probably below 0. We have a 4 in the Dells right now. So overall, temperature feels like factors a few degrees above or below 0. More than likely, it's below 0. And the reason why maybe actually some of those wind chills might be above 0, let me explain here why that may be, as it pops into my head. Well, it's 7 in Madison, and that wind chill is -5. Future track wind chills are not going to be as cold tonight as what we saw last night because the winds are easing up. So if you don't have the winds, you're just looking at the actual air temperature being very, very cold. But we'll wake up to those feel-like factors in the single digits above and below 0. So now as I think about southwestern Wisconsin, some of those wind chills being above 0 is very likely because our winds are getting lighter and lighter, and by the time we get to tomorrow morning, we may even have some areas of calm winds. That's also going to allow the temperature, the actual temperature, to get a little bit colder tonight to 0 or maybe some negative single digits below 0 because we don't have that wind out there, and that allows temperatures to cool down more. We moderate a bit as we go into Friday. Temperatures in the teens to the lower 20s. We're going to have the sun out there on Friday. Clouds hung around quite a bit for portions of southern Wisconsin today. Expecting more in the way of sunshine for Friday, but that's replaced with clouds and some updates here on our wintry weather event expected for Saturday. Saturday, 1 p.m. Past couple days, it looks like this weather system was going to be coming in Friday night. Now it looks like it may take its time getting into southwestern Wisconsin until we get into the morning hours with a mix of snow, some freezing rain, and rain. We're keeping an eye on that. It will be battling dry air. Arctic cold air is very dry. So as this precipitation moves into that dry air, some of it's going to be eaten up by that dry air, so to speak. So it'll be battling that. Eventually we'll have precipitation make it to the ground, but because of this battle, the amounts at this point in time are expected to be light, and then it changes over to rain. So any iciness, snow that we get is probably going to be in the slushy side, as it looks like right now, maybe 1 inch to 2 west of Madison, northwest of Madison, targeting southwestern Wisconsin, areas over by the Mississippi River, which also could get just a little bit of freezing rain. Doesn't take much for slick spots. We'll be keeping an eye on this. If there's any increase in amounts or widespread freezing rain potential across southern Wisconsin, we may still consider alert day conditions, particularly for areas west of Madison. Nonetheless, still expecting some slick spots once we get out of the deep freeze tonight. Following the mixed precipitation on Saturday, 40 Sunday, 42 Monday with some showers, and then temperatures go back to where we would expect in the upper 20s to lower 30s for the rest of next week. Before I let us go from weather here, this just in, the last 11 months are the warmest on record, and I call this out here. This surpasses that flash drought, that hot year back in 2012. Why is this important? It goes to show that while even though we have had these bouts of very bitter cold temperatures, the overall average for this last 11 months, and we got to get through December, but the overall average is the warmest on record.
Wow, that's when you see it like that, that's really interesting.
Sure doesn't feel like it today, but
No.
to see that trend is quite interesting.
It's very stark contrast to one another.
Well, thank you, Alex. President-elect Donald Trump is Times Person of the Year. Trump returned to Wall Street this morning to ring the opening bell in celebration of that designation. He's already making plans for his inauguration, which include inviting Chinese President Xi Jinping. Meanwhile, some of his cabinet choices are on Capitol Hill, working to drum up enough support to get confirmed. His pick for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth meeting with GOP senators and Democrat John Fetterman, who said he's not ruling out voting in favor of Hegseth's confirmation.
This as Meta's confirming a $1 million donation to Trump's inaugural fund. The donation comes 2 weeks after Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg met with Trump in Mar-a-Lago. Zuckerberg also met with members of Trump's team in late November and is angling for a role in the incoming administration, which could involve shaping tech policy.
The Biden administration is trying to bring home an American citizen found in Syria. 29-year-old Travis Timmerman says he was detained after entering Syria illegally on a Christian pilgrimage. He spent the past 7 months in one of the country's most notorious prisons. After rebels overthrew the Assad government, local men broke down the prison doors, setting him free.
In the middle of the night or early morning, they came with a hammer and knocked my door in. And there was 2 men with guns, and then there's another man named Ely, and they helped me get out of prison.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken says he's focused on Timmerman's return. The administration is also trying to locate another American, Austin Tice, a Marine veteran who was working as a freelance journalist when he was abducted in Damascus in 2012.
First-time claims for unemployment benefits are up. The U.S. Department of Labor released a report today showing about 242,000 people filed new claims. The increase of 17,000 new claims was more than economists predicted. They say the jump is likely due to seasonal factors, with layoffs usually ramping up in the winter. It's the largest number of new claims filed since early October. Meanwhile, continuing claims rose. For the week ending November 30th, nearly 1.8 million people filed continuing claims, an increase of 15,000 from the week before.
President Joe Biden is commuting the sentences of nearly 1,500 people and pardoning 39 others. The 1,500 were released from prison and placed on home confinement during the COVID pandemic. The 39 pardons are for Americans convicted of nonviolent crimes, the largest single-day act of clemency in modern history. The president says he'll be taking more steps in the weeks ahead and will continue to review clemency petitions. Well, have you ever woken up from a dream and thought, did that just happen? Well, a local nurse at SSM Health St. Mary's saw something in her sleep that felt too real, and she was relieved it wasn't.
And wait until you see what happened shortly after.
It's more than just a job. For 23 years, Corey Bradley has given her whole heart to nursing.
So I just love meeting the people and seeing how we all can help them.
Her fellow nurses say working with her is a dream.
She's so spunky and full of life.
That's why it was so jarring when Alexis Unseth had a nightmare about Bradley.
Woke up in my sleep screaming.
The next day, Unseth told Bradley what she dreamed about.
In the dream, she just collapsed on the ground and she didn't have a pulse. I was like, you're never gonna guess I had this dream that you like coated on the ground and died.
At first, they all laughed about it.
I just thought, well, okay, that's cool. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it was weird. I felt bad for her.
But soon, it wasn't funny.
3 hours later, it literally happened.
Bradley collapsed right here.
You could hear her smack to the ground.
She went into sudden cardiac arrest and coded, just like in Unseth's dream.
And like the only thing in the back of my head I could think about was like, I had this dream and she died. So I'm like, obviously something was correlating. I'm like, that cannot be the outcome here.
Thankfully, it wasn't. Bradley's coworkers did CPR and were able to revive her.
They brought me back to life. I can't be thankful enough.
Bradley is still surprised this all happened, but cardiac arrest isn't new to her.
My mom died from the exact same thing when she was 48 in her sleep, but I'd been worked up and I never had any signs.
The wife and mom of 3 is doing well and was back in scrubs pretty quickly, all because she was surrounded by people who knew how to help her.
Learn CPR, because that's what saved her. Us getting CPR on her right away. That's exactly what saved her.
Whether it was a premonition or just a coincidence, Unseth finds herself answering a lot of questions these days.
But everyone at work is like, hey, did you have a dream about me?
Well, maybe not everyone.
Have you asked her about any dreams lately?
No, I'm staying away from that one.
In this case, it's better that some dreams don't come true. With that in mind, Corey Bradley says she's grateful for each day she gets to wake up and go to work.
Blessed that I was in the right place at the right time. These people here were wonderful. I'm sorry. They're just so good.
We're all so glad Corey's doing well, and like they said, sign up for classes, learn CPR, learn how to use an AED, because that's what saved her.
Exactly. This is just one of those wow stories of being in a place with people who can all help you, and just the odds of having that dream right before is just something you can't make it up.
Kudos to all of her coworkers, so thank you for sharing your story with me. Coming up on Live at 4, we're highlighting a local business making a difference all across the world.
Ethical Trading co-founders join us to talk about their mission and how it works when we're back.
Welcome to Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for beautiful furniture, sofas, chairs, and recliners, sectionals, and fun accessories. Shop our Fitchburg showroom today.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with the Ford crew.
What happened?
Someone took the Bronco out for an extended test drive.
They used all the goat modes. Goes over any type of terrain.
They did it all, man.
Looks like they had a lot of fun.
Those boots are awfully muddy, Sam.
My boots? I did it. I'm gonna do it again.
Lease a new Bronco Sport Big Ben for only $399 a month, or a Bronco Big Ben for just $499 a month for 36 months.
Here's the secret worth sharing. Robertson, Wisconsin's aesthetic leader, has nurses that specialize in custom treatment plans. Always natural, never overfilled. Time to learn how aging is different at Robertson.
There's still time to get your home holiday ready during Steinhaffel's holiday sale. Save big and get the room you've been wishing for. Start with 60% off all Christmas decor. Save big on a new sofa for dad, a new mattress for mom, and create your dream room with Steinhaffel's 60-month financing. It's the holiday sale at Steinhaffel's. Shop in store or online at steinhaffels.com. Relax, it's Steinhaffel's.
For 5 years in a row, Fry Construction has been voted Madison's best roofer, and it's all thanks to you. Now we're giving back with a special offer. Get 24% off installation when you schedule a full roofing project with Fry Construction. Save big while keeping your home safe, warm, and energy efficient this winter. Don't just beautify your home, beautify it with the experts you trust. Call Fry Construction today to schedule your free consultation.
We all share the same roads, but when accidents happen, we don't always share the same consequences. Big trucks can cause big damage. Injuries can be severe and may require a lifetime of care and compensation. Call Gruber Law Offices today. We've been fighting and winning for people injured by big trucks for more than 35 years. Let us do the same for you. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Start your new day with the News 3 Now This Morning team, bringing you local breaking news, exploring all that makes our area special, and letting you know what to expect when you head out the door. The Emmy Award-winning News 3 Now This Morning, weekdays.
From our Dwellings family to yours, happy holidays.
Well, it's the time of year when people are looking for that perfect gift to get your loved ones. Ethical Trade Company is a nonprofit that hopes to help you do just that while empowering artists and farmers.
We're joined now by co-founders Manuel Raminer and James Ferret. Happy holidays to you both. How are you doing?
Happy holidays. Yeah, thanks for having us.
So how does your organization work?
So we're a nonprofit that empowers people around the world to make a livable wage, break out of exploitation and extreme poverty. And we have fair trade goods in our store that we sell, which creates a cycle of trade for artisans and farmers around the world.
And we have some of these goods. I don't know if we can get a...
that's
covered. We have some coffee, correct? And some chocolate. Perfect gifts for people.
Yeah.
And so how buying these, how does it help, I guess, support these artists and farmers and also make a difference in the world?
So we work with a number of partners around the world. We have products from over 50 different nations in our store, and they get they charge us the rate that is applicable in their country, and then we obviously pay that rate. But they make sure that their farmers and their artisans are paid usually significantly more than the going rate in that area.
And so, talk us about what kind of products you have. We see the chocolate and the coffee here, but what other things can people find when they come in?
Yeah, we have so many things. Bags, Ukrainian
yes,
tableware, clothing. James is modeling a shirt that we sell. We have bath and body products, actually locally sourced from Milwaukee, from a nonprofit that empowers women there.
We have jewelry, we have coffee, we have chocolate, obviously, we have dried fruit, we have various options for tea, we have candles, ornaments, Christmas decorations, a huge supply of different gifts.
And we're seeing some video of all that stuff right now, and people are making their Christmas lists right now. Why is it, I find this time of year, I get a lot of stuff. I'll look at it and then it goes in a closet and I don't use it. Do you find that when people know that they're getting something from their community and it's helping people, does that make it more special for people?
100%, and people come to us when they know that we're fair trade because they want to empower. I think in Madison a lot of people have a heart to help, a heart to really make a difference, and really our customers are our true heroes in this story because they go out of their way to buy something that will last, buy something that actually makes a difference for people that made it, but also for the people that receive the gifts.
And what's kind of the response you're hearing from the artisans and the farmers who have a space in your store? What is it like for them to have that?
It's significant for them because they are able to provide for their families. Oftentimes, like we have a range of hats and mittens that are made by Nepali women in their homes where they can take care of their kids. They have that ability too. So a lot of the groups that we work with, they're working within small groups of people in towns and villages where they're from rather than in larger cities where it's easier for them to be exploited.
And that's kind of cool too, because then you're passing down to your kids out there someone's handiwork, that transferal of craftsmanship.
Yes, yes, definitely.
So where can people find you, and also do you have a website that people can use?
Yeah, you can find us on at www.ethicaltradeco.com. That's our website. You can also find us at 3565 Tulane Avenue on the east side. It's near Schenck Elementary. We're in the back of the East Moreland Community Center there.
Yep, and open Tuesdays through Saturdays next week, 11 to 5. And then the 23rd, right before Christmas Eve.
Okay, so for the last minute shoppers out there.
Yes, indeed.
Exactly.
So I know where I'm going to get my Christmas presents.
Yes. Thank you both so much for being on with us.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
We'll be right back.
What did you get?
A 94.
That's good. AAA Auto Insurance scored a 94 on member satisfaction.
What? AAA Auto Insurance?
Uh-huh. You can't shush the truth, people. You can't shush the truth.
AAA Auto Insurance. Expect something more.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
I've got arthritis in my joints. I would walk 10 steps and not have to sit down. I wanted to do anything other than go through the pain and the effort of the surgery.
That's when Mike discovered QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. All natural treatments to restore and repair your damaged joint tissue and get you back to living a normal life again with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime.
Afterwards, I felt like I really made the right choice. It's a tremendous success.
Join tens of thousands of satisfied patients who have found lasting relief from their joint pain. Request a free consultation and find out if you're qualified for this therapeutic breakthrough. Call 608-927-4530.
If you want to avoid the process of surgery and the pain and the effort, you need to go to QC Kinetics.
Isn't it time you got your life back? Call now for your free consultation. 608-927-4530. 608-927-4530.
Willie Street Co-op has the perfect gift for every foodie on your list. Our seasonal gifts feature thoughtful selections of great goodies like culinary delights for your favorite gourmand or delicious beverages for your cup of cheer celebrations, and special items for the host with the most to create magical charcuterie boards, plus hundreds of other gift ideas. And the best part is, you're supporting fair trade, local and sustainable producers. Be an amazing gift giver and do a world of good with Willie Street Co-op this holiday season. Willie Street Co-op. Everyone is welcome.
What did you get?
A 94.
That's good. AAA Auto Insurance scored a 94 on member satisfaction.
What? AAA auto insurance.
Uh-huh. You can't shush the truth, people. You can't shush the truth.
AAA auto insurance. Expect something more.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Ooh, that looks very chilly out there.
Yes, would not want to take a swim today.
And a big shout out to everyone who has to work outside, our postal workers, construction workers, anyone who's out helping get the kids to and from school. You know, we're rooting for you.
Yeah, keep your gloves, your scarves, your hats close by, and make sure you're staying nice and warm. Yeah. Well, our weather word today, crawling out of the deep freeze. So,
crawling.
Yeah, crawling. What is that going to look like?
Yes.
What are we crawling?
It's going to take some time. And I also want to second that too. Shout out to our folks that work outdoors. I actually, ironically enough, just posted on my social media asking anybody that is working outside in this cold, how is it impacting you? Because sometimes it turns into important news stories to share with the rest of southern Wisconsin for those that maybe don't have to be outdoors for their occupation in this very, very cold conditions. And the cold conditions that exist right now, wind chills right now, -5 in Madison. I did a little bit more research here. Look at the wind chills, Prairie du Chien, Boscobel, Platteville at 9 degrees in contrast to the rest of the wind chills that are below 0. But when we take a look at the winds in far southwestern Wisconsin, Prairie du Chien and Platteville calm. Well, if you don't have wind, the actual air temperature is what it feels like out there. You don't have a wind chill because the winds are easing up, and that's certainly good news. It's part of our weather story. Winds are coming down, even though it's 7 in Madison. The winds out of the west are at 7 miles per hour. That's a big change from those gusty winds that we had last night that made those wind chills in some cases down to -25 below 0. Let's plan our evening here in Madison. Clear skies, temperatures staying in the single digits above 0, but look at our wind chills on the bottom of these graphics here. -3 at 6 p.m., -4 at 10 p.m. That's what you need to prepare for. It's not as dangerously cold as what we were experiencing this morning, but it's certainly cold enough. The thermometer will read 0 in Madison tonight, -1 in Baraboo, 3 in Janesville, 3 in Platteville. So another very cold night tonight across southern Wisconsin, but improvement on the way. We're crawling our way out of the deep freeze into the teens to the lower 20s with what I call deceptive sunshine, because that's still cold temperatures for sure. Sunny skies, you step out, you think, oh, it's going to be a little bit warmer. And yeah, it is some improvement, but this is still cold temperatures that we will be dealing with for sure on Friday. Part of our bottom line is as we crawl out of the deep freeze, we're going to have wintry precipitation on Saturday. More on some of the slick spots expected and who stands the best chance for them a little later.
Thanks, Alex. 3 of the officials who tried to help overturn the results of the 2020 election appeared in a Dane County court for the first time today.
Political reporter Will Keneally was there. He joins us from the Capitol with details.
This harkens back to 4 years ago, where the Trump campaign asked a group of 10 Republicans to represent Wisconsin, at least on paper, in the Electoral College. But they weren't Wisconsin's actual Electoral College voters. And the Trump officials are being brought up on charges of fraud and forgery for organizing this attempt to pass off those Republican electors as the real electors from Wisconsin. Speaking with reporters after the initial appearance, the Wisconsin-based attorney Jim Trupis criticized the prosecution.
The Attorney General has today doubled down on a vicious strategy to destroy our very faith in the system of justice by using the courts for his own personal political gain.
Trupis, as well as the other attorneys, were released today on a signature bond and no contact orders for those 2020 electors. We reached out to the Wisconsin DOJ for comment on those last claims, but we have not heard back yet. The next court date for these 3 officials will be in late January. Reporting from the state capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Will. The Madison Fire Department is investigating the cause of a fire that displaced 3 people and killed a dog. The Madison Fire Department responded to Heath Avenue on the city's north side at about 7:30 this morning. They were able to put out the fire just after 8, but the home has extensive damage and the building next door suffered heat damage. While escaping the fire, 1 person got hurt. They're at the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And in Fitchburg, 2 people are hurt and several are displaced after a fire there this morning. This was at an apartment complex on Thurston Lane at about 5:30. Crews were able to contain the fire to just 2 units. One of the people injured went to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The Red Cross is helping the displaced people. The Fitchburg fire investigators are still trying to figure out the cause.
To Wall Street now, stock indices fell today after yesterday's inflation report. The Dow finished 234 points lower. NASDAQ down 132 points. The S&P 500 is down nearly 33.
2024 isn't quite over yet, but the past 347 days have given scientists a pretty good idea of this year's temperature patterns.
Our Maddie Heimsch brings us the details on this year's notable warmth from the cold.
It may not feel like it today, but 2024 is set to be the hottest year on record. Here in Wisconsin, the 2023 statewide average temperature was 46.3 degrees. So far in 2024, 49.8. While that doesn't include December, UW-Madison professor of atmospheric and oceanic sciences, Jonathan Martin, says so far our December has been uncharacteristic as well.
We got below 0 this morning with no snow on the ground. That almost never happens here, right, under any circumstances. So this is a really cold air mass. So they can still be generated, but they will not visit us with the frequency that they used to because the generation will be weaker in a warmer planet.
Martin says we don't know if 2025 will continue the trend of record-breaking heat, but he's certain record-breaking cold is not in the forecast. Reporting in Madison, Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Maddie. Stanley is recalling more than 2.5 million mugs after receiving dozens of complaints. Those include reports of lids coming loose while in use, leading to burn injuries. The recall covers all Stanley switchback and trigger action stainless steel travel mugs. You should immediately stop using those mugs and contact Stanley for a free replacement lid and shipping.
And coming up on Live at 4, it's almost the weekend in the 608.
Just because it's cold doesn't mean there's not plenty to do. Josh Breiter has your weekend calendar.
After careful review of medical guidance and research on pain relief, my recommendation is simple. Every home should have Salon Paws. Powerful, yet non-addictive. Targeted and long-lasting. I recommend Salon Paws. It's good medicine.
Give the ultimate gift this holiday season with power tools from Menards. Bosch power tools are engineered to handle the toughest jobs, and Menards carries over 75 Bosch tools in stock. Whether you need to rip, cut, drill, or drive, Bosch power tools provide the power you need for tackling the toughest jobs. Now at Menards, buy a select Bosch 18-volt tool and get a free 18-volt 4-amp-hour battery kit.
Dashing has been very helpful for me. Definitely brought me a significant amount of extra income and allowed me to comfortably pay my bills and live a lifestyle and get out and have some fun. Portable benefits would be great. It would allow me to afford health care, dental insurance, and vision insurance. That's great because, as you can see, I wear glasses. I will need to get more eye exams because I'm getting up there in age. I love the freedom and flexibility of Dashing, and portable benefits will give me an additional peace of mind.
The holidays are here, and so are the savings at Baraboo Furniture and Mattress. Don't miss our holiday sale with huge discounts on all quality name brand furniture, including Smith Brothers, Flex Steel, England, Spring Air Mattresses, Ashley, Amish Furniture, and much more. Over an acre of quality name brand furniture on display in our beautiful showroom and ready for delivery in time for the holidays. Free financing available. Hurry in today to the holiday sale at Baraboo Furniture and Mattress, where your satisfaction is our guarantee.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with the Ford crew.
What happened?
Someone took the Bronco out for an extended test drive.
They used all the goat modes. Goes over any type of terrain.
They did it all, man.
Looks like they had a lot of fun.
Those boots are awfully muddy, Sam.
My boots? I did it. And it wouldn't
out again.
Lease a new Bronco Sport Big Ben for only $3.99 a month, or a Bronco Big Ben for just $4.99 a month for 36 months.
I need help for my mom. She has dementia. I want a Grace so Mom can get care at home. You know what people say about them? I can't imagine better support through such a painful time. A Grace. Authentic care and connection. Visit agrace.org to learn more.
Join me tonight at 6 as I let you know why the wind chills tonight won't be quite as cold as what we experienced this morning, and the latest on wintry conditions expected Saturday.
Then we've got a list of resources to keep you safe and warm this winter. Find out what's available tonight at 6.
Start your evening with News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward, uncovering the stories and getting to the heart of events and issues that matter here. And when bad weather is on the way, we warn you first. News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward, weeknights.
Everybody is working for the weekend in the 608 on this Thursday afternoon.
Josh Bretter is in the studio with 3 things to do across southern Wisconsin this weekend.
Well, we are less than 2 weeks from Christmas, so you know this week's 3 things are filled with the holiday spirit. And first up, a Madison favorite. The annual Tuba Christmas concert is happening Saturday at the state capitol. This will take place in the Capitol Rotunda from 2:30 to 3:30 in the afternoon. It is free for all to enjoy. News 3 Now live at 4 will have some of those tuba players on their broadcast Friday afternoon, so be sure to tune in for a little preview tomorrow. Happening Saturday and Sunday, stop by the Garver Feed Mill for a 2-day holiday market. This is going to be open Saturday from 10 to 4 and Sunday from 11 to 4. You can get into the holiday spirit and finish off your shopping list just in time with a variety of handmade items and unique vendors. You can grab a bite to eat and sip a cocktail as you check out the many workshops and cookie decorating while taking in the holiday carols from the community choir. Then on Sunday, Santa is coming to town with his reindeer and stopping at the Bruce Company in Middleton. This is happening from noon to 2. Say hello to Comet and Vixen and learn some interesting reindeer facts from Santa's elves. This event is free to the public, but if you want a photo taken of your family with the reindeer, there is a charge. Remember, you can always see what is happening in the 608 by going to this section of channel3000.com. In the 608, I'm Josh Bretter, News 3 Now.
2 things. Another great flannel.
I know.
That I want to steal from Josh. And those tuba players are a lot of fun.
I am so excited. Selfishly, that's the one thing I'm really looking forward to hear that tomorrow. I think it's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, everyone's going to enjoy it. Well, coming up on Live at 4, a rise in cases of whooping cough in Wisconsin.
A UW health doctor helps us understand the increase and what you can do to protect yourself.
Teeth are amazing. That's why at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we have new financing options to help you get a new smile today, not someday. Scan the QR code or call to learn more.
Go ahead and smile.
The holidays are here, and so are the savings at Baraboo Furniture and Mattress. Don't miss our holiday sale with huge discounts on all quality name brand furniture, including Smith Brothers, Flex Steel, England, Spring Air Mattresses, Ashley, Amish Furniture, and much more. Over an acre of quality name brand furniture on display in our beautiful showroom and ready for delivery in time for the holidays. Free financing available. Hurry in today to the holiday sale at Baraboo Furniture and Mattress, where your satisfaction is our guarantee.
Growing old is part of the journey, even when you have heart failure. But when he had shortness of breath, carpal tunnel syndrome, and lower back pain, we wondered, could these be warning signs of something bigger? Thank goodness we called his cardiologist, because these were signs of ATTR-CM, a rare and serious disease that gets worse over time. If you see any of the warning signs, don't wait. Ask your cardiologist about ATTR-CM today.
If you've been naughty, Santa won't bring you any presents.
Papa, turn back.
Boy, you better watch out. You better not cry.
I'm sorry.
You better not pout. I'm telling you why.
I'm sorry.
Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list
Para Mateo.
and twice. Gonna find out who's naughty or nice. Santa Claus is coming to town.
For 5 years in a row, Fry Construction has been voted Madison's best roofer, and it's all thanks to you. Now we're giving back with a special offer. Get 24% off installation when you schedule a full roofing project with Fry Construction. Save big while keeping your home safe, warm, and energy efficient this winter. Don't just beautify your home, beautify it with the experts you trust. Call Fry Construction today to schedule your free consultation.
It's the Friday the 13th sale. One day only. Get 13 of the hottest deals, like ground chuck and matzo pizza. 13 deals that are hotter than hot, including items for under $1. Save big on these 13 deals and more, in-store and online. One day only. Friday the 13th, only at Hy-Vee.
At Affordable Dentures and Implants, our Snap Secure Dental Implants will help you eat and speak with confidence at a price that's affordable. So if you think you can't afford dental implants, think again.
Go ahead and smile.
I love Chicago. I don't think I need to be there today in the Windy City.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Although I don't know that the temperatures are probably any different than they are here.
That's true.
No warmer. But beautiful skyline.
Yeah, it's pretty to look at from here.
Exactly. The latest data from the CDC shows Wisconsin ranks #2 in the nation for most cases of whooping cough in 2024.
So far this year, we've seen nearly 2,200 cases. For the entirety of last year, Wisconsin had fewer than 50 cases. Joining us to talk about why we're seeing this increase, pediatric infectious disease physician and director of UW Health's immunization program, Dr. Jim Conway. Thank you for joining us.
Happy to be here, thanks.
So I guess the first question, what is leading to all these increases?
Yeah, it's troubling. I think it's a combination of things. I think people fell a little behind on vaccines. Obviously, there's some people that question their vaccines, and the vaccines for pertussis, little kids need a full series, and teenagers and adults actually need boosters periodically. So I think that's part of it, and I think also people are kind of out and back into being social, not being quite as careful about restricting their coughs and their sneezes, and we're not wearing masks anymore. And so I think we've got this combination. And then the other part is that it's a disease that's kind of tricky because people are contagious for quite a while and they may not be real sick with it. And so it's a long incubation period and then a long contagion period. So you put all that together and it's sort of a perfect storm.
And so how can people recognize if they maybe do have this? I've heard it can look a lot like the common cold.
Yeah, it starts out like the common cold. I think the defining feature really is this persistent cough. And we basically say if you've had cough for more than a couple of weeks, you probably have pertussis. Obviously, during COVID, that got a little confusing because there were plenty of people that had sort of that lingering cough after COVID. But really nowadays, anybody that's got a cough that goes on for more than a week, we really start to get suspicious. And more than 2 weeks, it's very likely that that's going to be pertussis.
I know that a big focus is children, babies. So what can parents do, maybe even before if they have their child, what can they do?
Yeah, the group that's really at the highest risk to have bad outcomes are going to be those little infants. It's a nasty disease that causes swelling and damage in the airways, and when their airways get narrowed and clamped off, they really get very, very sick. That's where it gets the name whooping cough. They cough and cough and cough and cough, and then finally try to catch their breath and take this big, deep breath that gives this big, loud whoop. And babies just can't handle it and can't keep themselves hydrated, can't eat. So they're the ones that get hospitalized and unfortunately can die. We try to do two things. One is get them vaccinated, but there's that critical period when they're an infant, just after they're born. And one of the ways we protect them is by pregnant people getting a dose of the Tdap vaccine towards the end of pregnancy to pass along the immunity to the baby so that they're at least partially protected before they get going on their own. The other is we try to build a protective bubble around them by having everybody that hangs around them, especially babysitters, grandparents, parents, also being up to date with their Tdap vaccines so that they're not inadvertently bringing it home and giving it to these little ones.
And you mentioned earlier needing to get a booster for these kinds of things. So how often should people be looking to do that?
Yeah, so it's basically now built into the good old-fashioned tetanus shot, which everybody gets every 5 to 10 years. And so now tetanus shots basically been replaced by what's called the Tdap vaccine. And so we give that routinely to middle school kids when they enter, and that's a school requirement, and really recommend that people get that at least every 10 years. But for people that are going to be in close contact with a newborn, again, those grandparents, people that are going to be around them regularly, it's a good idea to get boosted even a little bit sooner than 10 years.
Thank you very much, Dr. Conway, for being on with us.
Happy to do it. Keep our fingers crossed.
And let's keep our fingers crossed for some warmer weather after today. Alex, what do you got?
I do actually have some good news. This is a perfect segue. Let's take a little bit of history. We all know it's cold. We all know it's been bitterly cold, but let's go back in time. Let's go back approximately 10 days after Thanksgiving. Look at how cold our temperatures were. They were way below normal. In some cases, minus 15 to 20 degrees below normal. Then we briefly warmed up once we got into the beginning of December. We crashed briefly, not quite as cold as what we saw back closer to Thanksgiving, but then look at this surge of extreme warm temperatures that we just experienced, where we had temperatures nearly 20 degrees above normal just a few days ago, and then our recent crash, our recent plunge, our recent polar plunge. And here's the good news. We will warm up as we go into the weekend, going into the 40s by the time we get to Monday. Then temperatures for a good portion of next week are going to likely hover very close to normal. So that wild roller coaster ride will ease up for just a little bit. Now, right now, -5, that's what it feels like right now in Madison, -3 in Lone Rock, -2 in Janesville, -8 in Camp Douglas. And again, we know it's cold out there, and our evening, we're probably likely know it's also going to be cold, but let's plan it anyway. Actual air temperatures staying in the single digits above 0, and the actual feels like temperature as we go through 6, 8, 10, heading towards midnight, right around 0. Overnight wind chills waking up to Friday morning, not as cold as what we experienced Thursday morning, so not expecting that dangerously cold wind chill category that we recently experienced, and will moderate into the upper teens to the lower 20s with sunny skies for Friday afternoon. The onset of the wintry weather now as we transition towards that potential impact looks like it's going to be later, and the best focus for any mixed precipitation likely west of Madison towards the Mississippi River. As warmer air moves in, that will likely change over terrain for much of the rest of southern Wisconsin before ending. So the better chances for any snow, and that's light to minor snow accumulations at most right now, would be west of Madison towards the Mississippi River. And this just updated here, even less now, looking of a glaze over far southwestern Wisconsin. So at this point, not going for alert day conditions on Saturday because it looks like the impacts are going to be mostly to the west and minimal at this point in time, but we'll keep an eye on it. And we warm up, the showers on Monday, and maybe a few snow showers by the time we get to Wednesday and Thursday with temperatures near normal. We'll be right back.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need. Because they're a part of them. Because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
I didn't know it, but my back pain was coming from my feet. My personalized arch support system from the Good Feet store got me back in the picture.
Clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Let your kindness shine bright at the Century House. This holiday season, donate $50 or more to charity and save $400 on stressless Mayfair recliners and ottomans. And save $200 on any stressless recliner, home office chair, and each seat of a stressless sofa. Plus, take $200 off 4 stressless dining chairs now. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
The holidays.
So happy together.
And holiday trips. And holiday toys. And holiday bonding. And it all comes together in a Chevrolet.
Find your red tag and use your red tag bonus cash to get $5,750 total cash allowance on this Silverado. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Join me tonight at 6 as I let you know why the wind chills tonight won't be quite as cold as what we experienced this morning, and the latest on wintry conditions expected Saturday.
Then we've got a list of resources to keep you safe and warm this winter. Find out what's available tonight at 6.
The name, image, and likeness system changed the game for college athletes, but now new revenue sharing rules could take it to a whole new level.
How will these changes shake up UW athletics, and what will it mean for the student athletes and the department as a whole? We'll break it all down tonight at 6.
Weeks of unexplained drone sightings in New Jersey are leaving residents confused and concerned. Officials aren't sure where the aircraft originated from. I think I can kind of see it, or what they're doing. The objects appear to be in clusters of identified drones flying lower than a plane would, occasionally flying near military facilities. Homeland Security and FBI officials have met with local lawmakers. They and the state's governor have stressed the drones do not appear to be a threat to public safety.
With just 2 weeks to go until Christmas Day, there's still time to finish out your holiday shopping, but shipping deadlines are approaching. For U.S. Postal Service ground shipping, the deadline is December 18th. For Priority Mail Express, it's December 21st. For FedEx, the deadline for 5-day shipping is December 17th or December 24th with same-day shipping. The deadline for UPS is December 19th or December 23rd with next-day air.
My family's getting gift cards and they're going to like them.
I think some of my gifts are already expected to be in late, so.
That's okay. And my mom always said that gift cards are the best because you can do what you want with them.
It's a great. I like that. I like that.
We'll be right back.
After an accident, don't say anything and don't sign anything until you talk to Gruber Law Offices.
Call us first. We'll help get you the money you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Imagine checking your own heart with medical precision from anywhere. Introducing KardiaMobile 6L, the FDA-cleared EKG that provides 6 times more heart data than any smartwatch. And it detects 3 of the most common arrhythmias in just 30 seconds, including atrial fibrillation, bradycardia, and tachycardia. Check your heart with the most advanced personal EKG outside the hospital. Get one for just $109 this holiday season. Don't wait. This offer won't last.
Hey, pal. Ready for bed?
Hey, Dad, do we really have the fastest internet speeds?
Yeah, with Spectrum, absolutely.
Oh, that's cool. Can you use that to research volcanoes super fast?
Of course.
Can you learn to make a diorama super fast?
Yeah, you can do that too.
How fast exactly?
The absolute fast. When's your project due?
Tomorrow morning.
How much have you done? Okay. I'll get the glue.
The fastest internet whenever you need it. From Spectrum.
This is for all the lonely people, thinking that life has passed them by. Don't give up until you drink from the silver cup and ride that highway in the sky.
In a Class 3 casino, you're playing against the house, so there's no guarantee a player has to win, ever. And in a Class 2 casino, the players play against each other, and not the house. So someone always wins.
So you're saying... He's saying if you want to win at something, you have to go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, a Class 2 casino where someone has to win.
How about this then?
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
At Gruber Law Offices, winning is no accident. Our team knows what it takes to get you the compensation you deserve. If you've been injured, call us today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Tomorrow on Live for a preview of Tuba Christmas. And next at 6, the landscape of college athletics will be going through some massive changes starting next year. Eric Franke breaks down how revenue sharing is about to impact student athletes all across the college sports landscape.